Thank you for joining us. This is Caleb Winger, Western Territory ITS, going over the Precision Planning Gen 3 basic setups. On this video, we're going to set up our tractor measurements for our GPS locations. First step would be to go to our setup. Then we would need to go to equipment. Then we will select our tractor measurements. And within our tractor measurements, this is where we get started. On our top tab, we will have our tractor make. We can select that and it will pull up a list. And we will have all the major line dealers, also a custom. In a custom, you can name it whatever you would like. But for today's video, we're going to be using a Case IH. Next, we would have our tractor model. If we select that, we can name the tractor model anything we would like. Today, we will stick with the 340 CVT. In the steering column, we will select that. And this is where we would select if it would be a front steering, like our Magnums, an articulated tractor, like our Steigers and Quad Tracks, or a track selection, which would be more along the lines of your CAT product line. Today we're going to do a front steering. Our GPS location, we can select whether it is on the tractor or on the implement. Today we'll keep with the tractor. Then we move to the bottom and start our tractor measurements. On our tractor measurements, you will see on A, this will be our hitch measurement. And the one thing to note on this will be, it would be from the rear axle to the pivot point. If you selected in your planner selection that this is a 2-point mounted implement, then that measurement needs to be from the rear axle to the 2-point in planning location. On our B, this is going to be our center offset, or where the GPS is located on the tractor. On the majority of our Magnum, Steigers, and Quad Tracks, it will always be 0. But if you have any tractor that may have the GPS receiver moved to one side or the other, we can select that and then we can tell it to measure it to the left or to the right of the tractor. Today we're going to keep it 0. C will be our forward offset. On our forward offset, this is the GPS location from the rear fixed axle. On the majority of our units, it will be from rear fixed axle to the front of the cab, or if you are using the GPS location from the nav controller that is in our cab, it will really be from the rear fixed axles to where the nav controller sits in the cab. Today we're going to keep it as if the location were truly on the front of the cab. Press enter. And then lastly, our height measurement, which is RD, is measured from ground level to the center of our receiver. Center of the receiver, this really needs to be checked to make sure it's correct. Hit enter. That will conclude our Magnum style measurements. Next, I would like to show you on our articulated tractors. Some things changed a little bit. So we've added a couple measuring points, and it gives a very good visual representation of where those measurements need to be taken from. Measurement A will be from the front axle to the pivot point of the articulation. B will be the rear axle, or the pivot point to the rear axle. C is going to be the same thing as the Magnums. If this unit is a drawbar type planner, then we will measure from rear axle to the drop pin, or wherever the pivot is on that planner. If this unit is a 2-point mounted planner, then C will need to be from fixed axle, rear fixed axle to the 2-point. D, once again, is going to be our measurement from our receiver of center line of tractor. Once again, can also be measured to the left or to the right. but majority of the time it's going to be 0. E is front axle. This measurement will be from the fixed front axle to the GPS location. So what this would be is if the GPS receiver set behind the rear fixed axle in any way or in front of the rear fixed axle in any way. And then F, once again, is easily just the height from ground level to center of our receiver. Thanks again.
Thanks for watching. Remember to like our page, share this video, and comment which Bain Welker equipment location is nearest to you. We will pick one winner a day, and each winner will receive a swag bag.